As we say hello and welcome to the virtual Michigan International Speedway, as we're here for the week 2, season 7 of the UIS Send It Motors Prospect Truck Series. We get ready to go into qualifying here. Hello, my name is Christian Elgato, filling in for Riley Maxwell. Riley couldn't make it tonight with some personal issues tonight, but I'll be in here filling in for him, producing and also calling the race alongside Gavin Austin back up here inside the HVTV booth. And Gavin, obviously a barn burner of a race last week, lots of cautions, lots of wrecking, but we saw the number 15 of Tyler Holmes take it home tonight. But we come to Michigan for this week as we come to another drafty style track. What's the outlook for tonight's race?
Yeah, obviously with these trucks, it is going to be full throttle pack racing. I think we're going to see a lot of aggressive moves, a lot of three wide, a lot of just overall pack racing, kind of like what we saw last week. Um, it's once again it's pretty much full throttle in the pack. Nearly, you'll have to lift a little bit early, during the run. The further you go down the run, with tire wear and everything. But I expect some fun racing tonight, some fun, hopefully clean racing. Obviously, like you mentioned last week. At Daytona had quite a bit of cautions. I believe it was 13. Hopefully we have some nice green flag racing tonight. I would love to see some green flag pit stops.
No, I definitely agree. Michigan can put on some really good racing here, especially in these Craftsman Truck Series machines, and hopefully we can, we just got those week 1 jitters out of our system last week, and put on some good racing. But we'll go down trackside to see some of your fastest drivers out on track right now, and see a big stack up here in Pit Road, which is not surprising here, as Pit Road can be a little bit chaotic. But we'll take a look at some of you guys is up towards the top of the board here. Kenny Laura, the number 78, top of the board here. He's coming out of Pit Road there, and out of Amp Energy Chevy Silverado. And Dorian Davis back there, also a familiar face here in the UIS scene. Back there in second, Chase George, the league owner, up here in P3. A good run for him. Obviously ran pretty well at the draft tracks. Did not get the finish he wanted. Travis Prather back there in fourth. And Zachary Trevino in that number 12, running out your top 5.
Yeah, I'm expecting a lot of fast guys up front tonight. But obviously, I mean, we have a driver we haven't seen this season. Obviously, you mentioned he was P1 in practice. Kenneth Laura was not there at Daytona last week. He was watching the race on the broadcast. And obviously he's quickest in practice right now. That is a flyer lap with draft. And obviously a lot of our top guys as well. Zachary Trevino, with a nice lap, and I'm honestly excited to see how this will play out. A lot of fast guys. Just the second race of the season, and you got to start off your season strong if you want a chance at a championship. So I think we'll see a lot of drivers racing aggressively tonight. It's going to be fun to watch.
I definitely agree. And, when it comes to Laura, I mean, I don't really blame him for not wanting to do Daytona. I've seen lots of drivers have a bad Daytona performance. You see a truck flipping in the back, the 99 machine. But, I've seen a lot of drivers have a bad performance at Daytona, come out here and still dominate a series here. So definitely not out for this Ever 78 machine. Obviously, definitely going to be coming in here with a step, with a lot more of an upper hill to climb. But obviously showing his speed here in practice. We'll take a look some back. Last week's winner, Tyler Helms, obviously last season's champion, your defending series champion, back there outside the top 5, back there in 8. Gavin Smith, he also has shown some speed throughout some time here. Chase Smith, that number 18 machine, he was also racing for a championship, I believe, last season. Couldn't get it done there. We've seen him on the channel quite a bit there in that number Ram 60 machine. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how people stack up here. Obviously, we don't have our points standings at least readily available here in the HVTV booth. This is where we usually talk about that. But obviously, we can talk about Tyler Helms winning in spectacular fashion last week from Daytona.
Yeah, I mean, he obviously came into the season strong after winning the championship last season. And talk about a race. I mean, he went to the back, to the front, the back to the front, kind of all over. And, we saw a lot of trucks like that. It was, 13 yellows. I don't think there's a single clean truck that finished the race without being involved in a wreck. And Tyler Helms survived the race and was able to win it. And, starting off the season with a win is huge. Looking to get another championship this season. And, not a better way to do it than winning the first race. And
Well,
see if he can win tonight because he's going to be fast.
and we know he's going to be fast wherever we go. We see him over in the Prestige Cup Series as well. You know, currently tops the boards in the points there as they go through their playoffs. But you think about it now, right? You win the championship and you come out here and outright win Daytona. That's just sending a message, if you ask me. You know, I'm here to, be a mainstay here in the truck series, and I'm here to be, uh, to come back and do the same thing I did last year. Obviously, won the championship after, narrowly losing it that first time around a couple years ago, and obviously winning, the inaugural race of this next season, right, at Daytona. Obviously, draft track, you can say, it doesn't take the most skill to get out there and win, but he did, right? He put himself in the right spot there, bottom of 3 to take the move, and then obviously we come to the Michigan, right? It's not like Daytona in any way, but still a lot of draft, a lot of, staying in line and keeping those tires underneath you.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be some similar racing like we saw last week. I mentioned it's pretty much full throttle. And we'll see a bit of tire wear going through the race, but we're gonna see a lot of pack racing, and you know I think we'll see a bunch of people who might not be as quick at some other tracks up front here this week, and that's what's so kind of interesting about Michigan with these trucks, kind of like Daytona. You could not be the fastest every in each week, but you got the chance to win here, and it's cool to have those drivers have a shot at winning, and then obviously it'd be great for those drivers. For example, we go to Coda next week. That's a road course. Those who are not good at road courses might want to, obviously everybody wants to win, but they want to go for the win here because they know they might not perform the best there next week. So I think we'll see some people who normally race towards the back up front tonight.
That's a good point, Gavin. And obviously, it's a big opportunity for the guys who might need a little bit more help, finding a little bit more pace out of these trucks, right? You go to Daytona where anything can happen. It's really up to the driver where you finish, and I would say 85% of the time, obviously, you get caught up in stuff out of your own doing there. The same thing with Michigan, right? Full throttle, very drafty. It's kind of in your own hands of how you want to race this track. Do you want to sit in the back and save your tires? Do you want to go up front and try to lead a bunch of laps and show that you can be a contender? And kind of the same thing with Daytona, right? Save your equipment or go up there and race at the front. And it's a big opportunity for a lot of these guys who might need a little bit of help to go up there, get some points early as we go into Coda next week, where I would say that is probably the first, skill-based track we're going to go through here to start to see who is our actual contenders potentially here heading into Season 7.
Yeah, no, I'm really looking forward to next week, and there's some road course ringers in this league. I mean, Zachary Trevino, he does all the like he loves road course racing. He's really good at it. He does all the virtual events on iRacing. I'm expecting him to be fast next week. We got Kai Collymore. I know he isn't the fastest on road courses, but he's up there in speed and pace. And Christian Girardi's good on road courses. I think we're going to see a lot of people, up front next week, which maybe we haven't seen this season just yet.
Definitely excited for next week to see what happens, but it looks like Kenny Laura in that number 78 machine. Fastest in practice going to be Kenny Laura and Dorian Davis. Chase George, your top 3. We get ready to head into qualifying here from Michigan.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting. And the qualifying laps are around a low 9 is what we're expecting to see our pole truck get, a low 9. I did run a few practice laps to try to see, what the strategy was. And yeah, I'm expecting it to, be low 9 laps first lap. So we'll see some of these guys go out there and see what lap times they put out. And I think track position is very key in this race to start up front. Maybe stay out of the trouble early on, and have a good pit box. Pit selection is key as well here too. So you want to be up front.
See some of our first drivers out on pit road there. Looks like the number 63, Henry Kalhoff, Fort Worth screen printing machine out on track. And Henry, one of those drivers that I can consistently say that he can run in the top 10, run in the top 15, depending if he can keep that truck clean. And it seems like every time he's been up here, at least in the HVTV column of these broadcasts, he's either up there being competitive or he's junked out of the race. So, and obviously this is one of those kind of races where you can get caught in some stuff out of your doing here just by being in the wrong place at the wrong time. But you'll see Henry cross the stripe here to start his first time lap.
Yeah, once again, it is full throttle. You want that throttle pinned to the ground. That's how you are fast here. And he's running right there on that second lane. That is the preferred lane for qualifying. You'll have more grip right on that seam, and he rolls it nice on exit. We're gonna see how his 3 and 4 goes here this time by.
His inputs there, just it looks like he's getting out of the throttle just a little bit to get the nose point in. And back on the
Looks like
throttle
he's gonna
here.
go for a second lap here.
Yeah, and a lot of these drivers will do this. They'll go up there, run the top here in 3 and 4, get as big of a run that they can. They'll cut the apron here, try to cut the track as much as they can, then go for the second lap here. And you'll see everybody try to get down there and probably going at least around the bottom side here, maybe an arc down to the bottom, as that's what you'll see Henry do. Gotta wrap those Goodyear tires around that yellow line, up and out of 2.
That was a good corner for Henry here. See what he does in turn 3 and 4. He is moving though. He is flying at the moment.
Right now, it looks like Henry just above 2/10 quicker than that first lap here. So we're starting to plan here. It looks like he'll be a little bit in the green. I don't know how much though. Pole right now, 40.043. So good lap from Henry. Continue to look up here. Here comes Trenton Wilkins, top of the board here. We'll continue to look at some of your drivers out on track here. Kendorian Davis out on track in that 7 Mach 5 machine. That Toyota, the number 7 Toyota. And obviously Kendorian going to be a force to be reckoned with, I feel like, in the coming weeks here. Obviously not the best Daytona for him. But, kind of a reset for the 7 machine.
Yeah, obviously he races in the Cup Series for Mach 5 Racing as well. Looking to get some wins there this season as well. We'll see. I believe this is the start of his... I want to say, is this his first or second lap?
This is his first lap here, so...
First lap.
I think this is what you're going to see with all these truck drivers here. On the top here, get the truck up to speed here and try to get as much time on that second lap as you can. We'll go ahead and show you your guys' fastest times right now. In qualifying right now, Aiden Curate, top of the board alongside Christian Zarate, Kenny Lord, Trenton Wilkins, Carmela Echeverra, your top 5. See them scroll on the top of your screen here. But looking at the number 7 as he starts his, I guess, fast lap here as he comes to lap 2.
Yeah, doing what you got to do. He's actually going up to the top of the track kind of fairly quick here. That might have scrubbed off a little bit of time, but also not getting right up on that yellow inside bottom line. But he was able to kind of roll the seam a bit, but it's going to be interesting to see where he's going to lay out here, but
showing him
into turn 3 and 4 now.
Yeah, showing him about 2-3 tenths up on that first lap, so it needs a good lap, obviously, with that kind of get up the speed lap.
3 and 4.
With that get up the speed lap, he's P24 now, but still looks like he's gonna significantly increase this right now, at least half a second quicker. Looks like 7/6 tenths up. See where he comes up. P10. Good lap for Dorian there in the number 7 machine.
I think he scrubbed off a bit of time over driving 3 and 4 just a bit there. Wasn't able to kind of wrap the bottom.
I definitely agree.
Zachary Trevino on the pole right now.
Yeah, Zachary Trevino takes your pole. Kai Collymore on his second lap. Someone to look at here. No, he's got speed in this truck here as we approach. And they're qualifying here. He's going to barely squeak this lap in. He will go P5 for the number 39 machine. Good lap for Kai at 39.95. As you see now, qualifying under wraps here, Zachary Trevino. And that number 12 machine takes your pole here from Michigan. We talked about Zachary, being one of your road course guys, but obviously knows how to set a lap down here from Michigan.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see him race next week at COTA because I've been enjoying some road course racing lately, and I'm excited to see what these drivers will do next week. And yeah, Zachary Trevino, I think, has a very good odds of ending it or putting that truck in victory lane at COTA next week. And starting on the pole, he's got a shot to do it again or do it tonight.
And not a better way to start it off. To kick this season off with the pole here. To start really for a lot of drivers, the start of the season. Obviously, Daytona for a lot of drivers isn't really the start of the season for them. They just have to try to survive here. But as we wait on guys to get ready to get in their trucks here. Let's go ahead and take a look at our race picks here. So, Gavin, I'll let you go first. Who is your favorite to win tonight here from Michigan?
My favorite to win tonight. He didn't qualify. He had a fast truck last week. I gotta go with JJ Moore. I think JJ Moore's got a good shot at winning today here at Michigan. You just gotta stay out of the carnage, and I think he's got a good shot at winning it tonight here at Michigan. But he is starting in the back and has a long ways to go.
Hard pick for me. I think for me, I think you need a good qualifying lap here, and this driver qualified up inside the top 5. I'm gonna give it to Kai Collymore here in the number 39. Is my guy to go get it done here. Obviously, no set. I presume we'll try to keep that truck as clean as he can here. So we'll be on the lookout for the 39 and the 88 throughout the race here. But while we get the time, let's go ahead and get your starting grid here, presented by HVTV. Tyler, Zachary Trevino, Aiden Curate, that front row in the 12 and 38. Christian Zarate, Kenny Laura back there in 3rd and 4th. Running out row 5. My race pick, Kai Collymore, Trenton Wilkins back there in P6. P7 will go to Carmela Cavera, Travis Prather. Rounding out the top 10, Tyler Helms and Jose Lopez back there in the 19.
Heading into row 6, we got Condorian Davis and Max Ford. Behind them in row 7, Elliot Fortire and Brady Schreckengast. That's 16 machine. Behind them in row 8, Henry Kaloff and Chase Smith. Both of them had a fairly good race there at Daytona, just, kind of got into trouble. Behind them in row 9, Maxwell Funderburk and Patricia Cusado. Back in row 10, we got Aiden Cabarrubia and Gavin Smith.
And Jared Spaniel, Jacob Bryant will round out that row 11 alongside back there. Joshua Gilbert, Kobe Banta, that number 55 machine. Riley Ibanez, Kenny Hilaire, JJ Moore, your race pick alongside Aaron Kovnat, Cameron Campbell, and Joseph Enright. We'll just go ahead and cycle through the rest as we have to get through these as quickly as you can. You see Ethan Bratton rounding out the rest of the field here. But taking a look at your race weather tonight from tonight's race, 77 degrees, little to no wind, partly cloudy here from Michigan. Yeah, doesn't look like it's going to affect the way this goes here. It looks like we're running 60 laps here from Michigan tonight, Gavin. Obviously, if we go green here, we're going to have some green flag pit stops.
Yeah, we had a lot of previous penalties. Our pole sitter, Zachary Trevino, got an end-of-line penalty. Chase George, Trenton Wilkins, JJ Moore. Kenny Laura making his first start. Carmelo got a penalty as well, but they got a long race ahead of them, with those penalties. So we're gonna see how it plays out.
Obviously, that'll kind of that'll shake up the start of the field here. So actually, give Christian Zarate, I believe, I believe that will give him, the pole here. Obviously, he qualified 3rd. I don't know if they're gonna give Aiden Curate the lead here. Starting it out, obviously, Zarate is going to lead the bottom side now with Trevino hitting that EOL. So it's going to be interesting to see if they give Aiden Curate the jump here. Obviously, it's on green, so looks like Christian Zarate will take that first spot as all those drivers cycle through to their new positions with these penalties coming out.
Yeah, and I'm looking forward to seeing how some of these guys who didn't race last week race tonight. The 22 machine, Elliot Fortier. This is his first start of the season tonight at Daytona. We were talking about Kenny Laura earlier as well. It's his first start of the season, and we saw him get that EOL penalty, so he's gonna have to work his way up through the field from the back. But first start, not a better way to do it than win, and that's what they're gonna try to do here tonight at Michigan.
Obviously, Fortier has a a better opportunity, at least at the start of this race, to get up towards the front. Kenny has a big hill to climb now, starting from the back. Obviously, we know he's got a fast truck, qualified inside, some spots there. But it's going to be interesting to see, how Kenny can get up through the field as they have to start all the way tail end of the longest line here. But I think the pace car is going to take that. That pace truck will take a hard left turn on the pit road, and we'll be getting ready to go. 60 laps here. No, as the lights were off. I thought we were going green this time. We'll do one more lap here, Gavin.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious with I don't know what's been going on with iRacing lately, but we had the same trouble last week at Daytona where the caution lights are off. We think we are going 1 to green, but it just doesn't end up happening. I believe we will go green this time by.
I guess the pace truck just wants to lead some laps here. It's like Richard Petty, when he was leading us to green there that one race, and he just wouldn't get off the track, and they had to give him the black flag. We might have to give this pace truck the black flag to get off the track here, so we can get this race underway.
Well, the pace truck did lead the most laps last week. Maybe he's going for the most laps led again.
Yeah, maybe. He likes being up front here. Yeah.
Wants to keep the streak going of most laps led.
Well, it makes sense. You know, he's used to being up front here from last week at Daytona. Caution fest, to say the least, last week. He doesn't want to.
Yellows.
Yeah, he doesn't want to give up this race lead. He likes the clean air. He doesn't want to be in that dirty air. Wants that, you know, you see the, you know, a little bit more aero underneath that truck as well. You see a big gaping hole underneath that one versus these Craftsman Truck Series trucks that were sealed to the ground. But we'll see if we go green this time. But I will hope that the pace truck will take this hard left turn down Perry Road and hand this race over to a Chevy Ford front row. It'll be Zerati and Curate. The 53, the 38. You see those two Kai Collymore machines, you know, second and third right now as everything stacks up. But you do see the pace car take a hard left turn down Perry Road. We'll hand the race over the Barney to Flagman. Back into the restart zone. Back green. The start, week number 2 here for the UIS Truck Series.
Kai Collymore around on the apron. He's able to save it. What a save. But not how you want to start this race.
And that's
into the field.
And that's going to be textbook. Oh, it's a huge wreck in the back.
Big crash in the back. Multiple trucks.
Caution will wave.
Yeah, heavy damage to Cameron Campbell, Cody Banta. We have the Ram truck, the number 17 Trenton Wilkin. A lot of trucks involved lap 1, and see some significant damage on the front of that 23. So we're going to go to our HBTV replay and see exactly what happened back here.
Oh man, the 17 gets into the back of the 23 there. I think it's just I think this kind of all stems from Kai getting loose down there. I think some people start to panic as they go 34 wide trying to get around the 39. The 17 he's got a huge run. Tries to give it, tries to push the 23, trying to give him a bump to get him back going. And unfortunately, that bump, just the speed difference is too much. And you'll see a lot of these drivers, the 81, the 76, saw the 23 around. You saw the 17 spin down the infield there. You see him back up on the left side of your screen. Just big accordion. I think everybody just trying to give a space to let that 39 of Kai Collymore get back on the track. Unfortunately, some people checked up, some people didn't. That just caused a big accordion here early, and caution will wave here early from Michigan.
Once again, that pace truck wants to lead some more laps, but Carmelo with a great avoidance there. We saw, you know, he went through most of the race there in the number 60 Ram last week, avoiding the wrecks, and then right after we interviewed him, maybe a bit of commentator curse, he was in the next wreck. But you know, great job avoiding that last wreck, and you know, you just gotta stay at the wrecks here, and you know, maybe we'll see him up front in just maybe a bit here tonight.
Yeah, I mean that's what he's got to do. Obviously, he was one of those drivers with a penalty, right? So had to start from the back, down now 13 spots from where he started. So needs to keep that truck clean. Obviously, being in the Hornets' nest, not a place you want to be, but when you get penalties, that's what you're gonna have to expect here coming into Michigan, right? You know it's full throttle. You know, especially here early where people want to make up spots. Some drivers are not gonna cut your brake if you make a mistake here, really, and I think that's exactly what we saw here on the first lap here. Just, you know, some people making some mistakes, some people just trying to take advantage of those mistakes and just got together there.
All this lap 1 carnage, our leader still, Christian Zerati. He had a good start to the race, was able to clear both lanes, and you know, obviously didn't have to do much, only made about half a lap green, but still managed to hang on to the lead. So, you know, that's what you want to do here. And good job by Christian.
Obviously, he's showing some speed here. You know, everywhere he goes, he's got some pace at the very least. You know, races part-time in the Prestige Cup Series, and actually, you know, Christian was the one who brought us to the AWC family. So and obviously here running in the UIS Truck Series. So, has made his name pretty well here on the network, and has had some ups and downs definitely in his career here on the channel. But right now leading the field here. We'll be leading the most laps. I think technically he might actually be tied with the pace truck now. I think the pace truck might actually have him beat, because with including those base laps.
Yes, we are going to go 1 to green, and Christian is going to choose to stay on that bottom lane.
So it'll still be the same top 2 we had at the start. So it'll be Girardi on the bottom, Aiden Curate on the top. Obviously, Guy Collymore with the spin there out of 2. We'll give 3rd back to Travis Prather, and Jose Lopez back there to 19. Your fast forward.
Toyota lock 2nd row right there. Travis Prather, we saw him up front last week and just wasn't able to get it done.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, when you come out of Daytona, you want to win, but at least if you showed pace and you showed that you could be up front, I feel like that's a good stepping stone into the next couple weeks here. As long as you know what you need to get going into, a race like Michigan, and obviously COTA is a whole different beast in itself as we go there next week. But I feel like just showing pace at Daytona, showing that you can be up front is a good stepping stone to start the season.
Yeah, and I'm excited to see him try to work his way up to the lead here, because I'm expecting it. Travis is very fast, and if he gets the opportunity to, has a run or something, he'll take it and try to pass Christian. So looking forward to seeing him battle up front for the lead. But the pace truck, for the 2nd time, is going to get ready to hook a hard left on the pit road. We're going to go back green.
That'll be the 53 and that 38 once again. It's going to decide how good of a jump does Christian get here as we get back into the restart zone. A pretty good jump, and here comes Prather with him in that bottom lane. 38 of Cure did not get a good start there.
And Travis Prather timed that perfectly. He was able to clear the outside lane, and he's right behind Christian Zarate heading into turn 1 and 2.
You'll see Zarate continue to take the lead. Here comes Aiden Cure with the run up the top, gonna force it. That truck there in 4th there, almost just pull over and give him the spot. Is now the 38 back up inside the P3 position.
Huge send on the inside. Max Ford, though, is trying to peek in there. Still side by side with the 38. That 11 is flying. Look at him. Still side by side on exit. And Max Ford trying to take 3rd.
I see Max trying to get in line there, trying to get this draft, and we talked about it. It's a pretty drafty track here at Michigan, and getting behind the truck that has the draft is going to be a big important thing here. You see Max will use that bottom and get back to P3. Going to try to get to the outside of the 8 to Prather as he does.
Great pass by Max Ford. Was able to run that middle line seam and get right up to the outside of the 8 and use that side draft on the straight. Great pass by Max as we have another yellow flag. Not exactly sure what it's for. Oh, it's Kai Collymore again on the back stretch. 90 machine as well. Not the start that Kai Collymore was hoping for.
And I put all my eggs in his basket too. I mean, that's a classic. So we'll have to take a look and see what happened here with Kai back here, running outside the top 20. He's already spinning down the backstretch here. We'll see. Has a run. Oh man, I think he just barely gets clips to 90 there. Obviously not intentional, but clips to 90 there, and they'll go both spinning, both damage to the rear end of those trucks, and not the start that I think anybody expected out of that 39 truck. Get a 90 of Riley Ibanez still down there trying to get this truck back going. But yeah, 2nd caution here. We haven't even completed 10 laps yet.
Yeah, that's just an aggressive move too early on. We're only in lap 6, and you pull that move. I get you have a run and you want to, get as much position. It's definitely after, what happened lap 1, but just, very aggressive move, and it just didn't work out for the 39 and, taking out the 90 machine as well. Just very unfortunate. Yeah, 2 yellows for lap 10.
And once again, he's kind of shooting himself in his own foot, because you cause a caution, you get in here well, right? So you have to, not only do you, lose that spot that you tried to get, now you have to drop all the way back and give all those spots that you just gained back, right? And you have damage, right? So, man, not what you want to do here early in the race. Luckily, hopefully he just gets this out of the way early and can, he's got a lot of laps to get back up towards the front. But yeah, not the start he
Yeah,
wanted.
definitely going to be interesting. And now we have Max Ford will start on the front row and go back green. So I'm flying on that restart. But the 8 is still going to be linked up with Christian Zarate. And we saw how well that last restart went for those two drivers. So you see a very, very fast trucks up there.
Getting his lap back. I think that was a Lucky Dog truck there. I believe. Maybe. Cody Bansa at FTN machine. Feel already a lot of damage to that right front. Going to get back on the lead lap. He was the only truck a lap down, so only truck eligible to get the Lucky Dog there. So you'll see him try to get his race back in the right direction. Obviously, going to have to get that damage fixed throughout the race here to give himself an opportunity, because you can see a lot of damage on that track. That's definitely not going to drive the way it probably wants to there for Cody.
Yeah, we still have a lot of trucks on pit road taking damage. And my pick to win, JJ Moore, also coming down pit road. Doesn't have damage, was involved in the wreck. Maybe a quick bathroom break for him. You never know. But clean truck, and I'm expecting him to work his way through up through the field shortly.
And then JJ Moore, he's got speed. Needs to navigate through these, what's going to be now 26 trucks in front of him. So going to be interesting to see how these faster guys can, navigate through the traffic. I think we need a
lot of time to do it.
Yeah, I think we need a long run for these guys to make their way up towards the front. And unfortunately, we just haven't gotten it here in these first 10 laps. So going to be interesting to see how, if these guys are going to settle down a little bit, right? And then it seems like the wrecking has been towards the back of the pack, which I feel like these guys up front are just like, hey, guys, let's just calm down. Let's get some laps under our belt, and then you guys can go race. But obviously, it's everybody's own discretion of how they want to race their own race. And, definitely be frustrating if you're up here trying to lead the field.
Well, we're going to go back green on lap 10. Like we were talking about, would love to see a green flag run and see these quicker trucks work their way through the field. I think that's what a lot of people in the field are hoping for, a long green flag run, and that's kind of what we were hoping for all last week, and we just we're unfortunate and didn't get one. But tonight's a new night, a lot of new trucks, and I think we could see one play out.
Yeah, obviously it's going to be interesting to see what we can do here as we start lap 10. A little blink out of the leader, and obviously, hopefully Christian can solve that issue. Going to want to see him get an EOL here from the lead. But see the pace car once again take a hard left down pit road. Durati, Max Ford, inside, outside, back in the race car zone, back green here from Michigan. Another blink out by the race leader.
Great job by Travis Prather once again, right on that back bumper of our leader, Christian Zarate.
Prather up at the outside wall.
Travis Prather up front has some heavy amount of damage to that number 8 Toyota machine, and that just did not happen.
See what happened to Prather here? Maybe contact with the 11, maybe. Yeah. 11 just I think we're just trying to get clear. Thought maybe he had room to get down. Unfortunately, the 8 was just barely there enough. And unfortunately, Prather's the one who's going to take the blunt of that damage, unfortunately. Nothing he did wrong. I mean, you saw the 8 come up just maybe a foot or two, but I think it was mostly the 11 just trying to get back in line, trying to get into 1 and 2. Fortunately, not clear, and turn that 8 machine around.
Yeah, that is not what Travis Prather wanted to happen, but luckily it's early on in this race. This could have happened way later, and you wouldn't have the time to fix all that damage, but he has plenty of time to get that damage repaired and work his way up through the field. It's just, going to be hard. A hard task to do now, but it's not impossible, and his race is not over. Christian Zarate still continuing to blink out just a bit now.
Trying to look at
It's
this.
gonna be interesting.
Trying to look at this 11 machine and see if he's got any residual damage from this.
His truck looks pretty clean.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Trying to use that TV1 cam. We'll see the right side of this truck here. But yeah, I don't really see a lot of damage on that. So I guess Max got lucky there. Obviously, probably should get the EOL there for causing that. I guess it'll be up to race control whether they want to call that a racing deal or whether they want to call that on Max. But looks like he's going to keep his spot for now there up inside the top 3. So looks like he's going to file back into second place behind the 53 Zerati.
Well, proof that drivers who started towards the rear of the pack can get to the front. They're already up here. Maxwell Funderburg started 17th. Right behind him, Henry Kaloff in 15th. Started 15th. And a few spots behind them, Joshua Gilbert started all the way back in 23rd, and they're up here towards the front of the pack already. And yeah, it's a bunch of pack racing, and I think anybody can honestly go up and lead this race, in my opinion, as long as it's up close pack racing. But once the run gets going, we'll have a bit of tire wear. I think we'll see some of the faster guys and more consistent guys up front. But we'll have to just see how it plays out.
The stats here on this 96 machine. Yeah, low of 17th. Obviously, that's where he started. All the way back up here. It says second. Obviously, I think Timing Squin's a little confused because Max Ford, obviously lost all those spots. Going to get him back. So I think that'll cycle back out to him being third. Obviously, it says on timing and scoring, he's in second right now. They haven't crossed the line quite yet to update the graphics and stuff like that. So yeah, he'll go back to third. Max Ford keeps his spot. Yeah, interesting to see that.
I guess, yeah, interesting to kind of have, if they're calling it a racing deal. I don't know, early on, it's kind of surprised Michael Ford didn't get a penalty, or Max Ford didn't get a penalty there.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting to see that. I would say, I don't know if you can call that a racing deal if you ask me, but obviously we're not race control, and we're not, trying to say the race controls are wrong. But Max Ford will keep that P2 position. He'll start front row of that outside lane. And Christian Zerati continues to lead some laps, granted with a little bit of connection issues. I feel like if we do, go more than one lap here, green, if he continues to blink, they might ask him to go to the back. So hopefully he can get that connection fixed, because obviously I know, I think me and Gavin both know from experience, it's very, very frustrating to race around anybody who's blinking, especially if you're racing for the lead.
Yeah, and he no longer has that number 8 machine, Travis Braithwaite. We saw well they were connected on the restarts. Now he's got Maxwell Funderburg right behind him. So, it's another Toyota, but we're going to see if they connect well on this restart. I think Christian Zerati would still be the car, the top car in this restart. Obviously the control car, but here we go, getting back, ready to go green. We're back green here at Michigan.
There's Zerati, a blink, and once again, yeah, I think maybe that was him and Prather maybe having a little bit of insider knowledge there, because Funderburg did not get the start that Prather did. Could not get them both clear. It's going to be Max Ford, Funderburg side by side going to 1 and 2 for that P2 position. 11 with the run off the top. Help from Henry Kaloff back there. He's going to jump up and into P3 position.
They're 4 wide back there, right outside the top 10, back to 3 wide, but side by side for the lead. Make it 3 wide. Henry, huge dive to the bottom. 3 wide in turn 1 and 2. Max Ford on the top. Loses. Max Ford's loose. What a save. Still keeping it straight. Still 3 wide. Coming to the line. Who's going to lead this lap?
I think Kaloff.
But I don't know.
No, I think.
Yeah. Henry Kaloff.
Yeah.
Wow.
Kaloff got it. And Ford loose again on the top. Trying to keep that truck underneath him. Kaloff.
Truck's loose.
Yeah, everybody's loose. I feel like everybody who ran that top side got loose out of the corner. Kaloff trying to block lanes here like it's Daytona. As he's going to take the actual lead here, down here in the 3 and 4.
That's contact again for third. Max Ford, huge save, but he's going all the way up to the wall. He's going to be stuck on the outside. He's going to fall back a bit. It's the 14 to 15 around. 60 around 78. Lots of trucks involved.
Oh
Huge hit
man, someone hit the
into the
tire
pit
barriers.
barrels. I
Yeah.
believe that's Kenny Laura. Kenneth Laura in his first start into the pit barrels. Not how you want to make a start here.
There's Laura. That's probably race ending damage right there for him. Take a look and see what happened here. And it looked like just a lot of uneasy driving here. It just looked like no one could really get these trucks underneath them. We'll go back up to Echeverria here. He was right in the middle of this. Ah, man, just the 16 and the 14. Wrong place, wrong time. Oh, man, and Kenny Laura. That is, I mean, you feel bad for the driver, the 79 there. I mean, he was kind of outside looking in. Just nowhere to go for him. Contact with him in the 60, and oh man, that is a massive hit. Yeah, there goes the engine as well. So obviously we knew Kenny had a lot of speed going into the ninth race. No fast repairs here in the truck series, so race over for the number 78 amp energy machine. So just I mean, nothing he could have done there.
Yeah, obviously he qualified well inside the top 10. Just had that penalty, that end of line penalty, and we're gonna, that's not how you want your race to end this early on.
Obviously, yeah. I mean, no one wants to see that. But that's just the way it happens sometimes.
Well, we're gonna have a new leader for the first time this race, Henry Koloff. We saw him take a huge dive, entering 3, going for the lead 3 wide, and was able to clear, I believe it was both Christian and Max Ford. But Max Ford, not the restart he wanted. He fell back, I believe, all the way to 8th right now.
He's back here in
He's actually
14th. Yeah,
road
but
now.
yeah,
He's
he came down pit side,
further.
took some tires.
I'm surprised we have some trucks taking tires this early. We've probably only had around 5 laps under green. We did see Max get loose though, quite maybe a handful of times actually. One of the trucks that got loose the most out there. So
Yeah.
actually, might not be a bad idea for that 11 truck to take some fresh, clean tires.
I mean, we're approaching lap 20. We're almost a third of the way done with this race already. So even if he probably didn't need it, I don't think it's a bad idea to come down and take tires. I don't know how many tire sets these drivers have for tonight's race at Michigan, but we're almost a third of the way through. If your truck's not handling right, if you've got hot tires, obviously we saw him slipping and sliding on the top. I don't really blame him, for coming in trying to just do a hard reset. I mean, he's still inside the top 15, which isn't that bad. Granted, yeah, with how many trucks are still on the track, we still have 30 trucks here, so he's right in the middle. But yeah, I mean, some of these guys are going to come down. It looks like ninth on back actually came down pit road. So the top 8, which is the last car here on older tires, is that number 6 machine of Chase Georgia, league owner there in that Lowe's machine. So I'm interested to see, these guys. I would say they're kind of the back 3, how they're going to hold on compared to these guys with these freshies. I'm not
really expecting a huge difference between the guys who stayed out and the guys on fresh tires. Maybe a bit of a difference, keeping maybe their truck straight a bit. But I don't know. It's going to be interesting. These trucks do have 4 sets of tires, including the sets they started the race on. So they have plenty of sets for this race. So it's not a horrible call, but I'm not sure if it's going to do much. But time will tell, and we'll see here in just a moment.
Yeah, 4 sets of tires. So 3 extra in the pits. I mean, theoretically, they could come down and pit every 15 laps if they wanted to use them all up. So we'll see how it works out here, but we'll hand the race back over. Henry Koloff and another blinking Christian Zarate running out the front row, Chevy front row, as we go back ready to go green here to start lap 19.
Christian Zarate timed the start well, just doesn't have the help he needs. You see how well connected that bottom lane is. And with that good start, Christian Hattie might be able to clear here in that 3rd lane, and he's going to do so.
Thunderbird helps get that 63 out. As Christian Zarate tries to battle hard on that top side, needs a little bit of help from Aiden Currid in that number 38 machine as he blinks
Oh,
once
Sweep a
again.
wreck in the back
17.
again.
Looks like
Oh my
Wilkins.
goodness.
I think he's going the wrong way, as you know what some people would say, but we'll have to take a look what happened in the 17 of Curate. This was on the start once again. We just cannot keep off each other here on these starts. Right there, Wilkins.
Peeking three.
Peeking three on the apron. A little push to the 77 to JJ Moore. And then it happens down the backstretch here. I think, oh man, a huge stack up there. Yeah. He's tried to get around the 23. Unfortunately, they were going to be almost 5 wide down the backstretch. And 17 kind of hooks himself off the nose of, I believe that was the one machine there. Yeah, just the 23. I mean, there's not really a whole lot you can do. Obviously, I think he could have given a little bit more room to the one, that Mach 5 machine. But yeah, just a really bad spot for all those guys because once again, it was one of those situations that we saw earlier in the race with Kai Collymore, kind of slow, falling through the pack. The 23, I don't know what happened to him, but was also slow. Kind of just forced everybody to try to get around them. And he was just kind of sitting in the middle of the track. So I wouldn't really put that on the 17. I'd put that, once again, kind of a racing deal is, you know, the 23 is slow, it kind of sitting in the middle of the track, kind of force everybody to get around him, kind of in a weird spot.
Already, I believe, our 4th yellow, 20 laps in. Not how I want this race to go, not how a lot of drivers probably want this race to go. I'd love to see some green flag racing going on.
I think the only person who wants this race to go that way is the guy leading the field, the pace truck again. So we'll pull up.
He's back to the most laps led.
We'll see if we have a stat. No stat for the pace truck. I was hoping we might have a stat for laps led, but no. I might talk to Andrew Schulte to see if he could get us a graphic that can plug in the pace truck. Because I guarantee you he has the most laps led here tonight here from Michigan. Especially since Zarate has, you know, given the race away to Henry Kalhoff. You know, that kind of resets the laps led and continues to, you know, let the pace truck driver continue to, you know, stretch this gap here. You know, he might have the regular season championship under wraps here by the end of the season here.
We have a Ram peeking himself into the top 5. Zachary Trevino in that 12 machine. We saw him last week at Daytona, just didn't get the finish he needed. Right in front of him, last season's champion and last week's winner, Tyler Helms. 2 very fast trucks right there.
Remember, you know, Zach got the pole, so just had that ELO. So
yeah.
we know he can get the truck around pretty quickly. So not a surprise to see him up inside the top 5. Obviously, it's going to show that he's down 4 spots because he did technically qualify on the pole. Obviously, got that EOL at the start of the race, so technically started back there, and you know, I would say 28th, 29th probably, because there's a lot of trucks behind him who also had EOL penalties. So, but good on that 12. You know, get back up towards the front.
We will see Christian Zarate connected with Henry Kalhoff. We're to see if they get a good restart here. 2 Chevys connected. It's going to be interesting. The inside line has been the strongest line so far tonight. Obviously, every restart we've had the control car down there. Or control truck, I should say. But, you know, hoping these guys on the outside have a shot to, you know, maybe be side by side entering turn 1. That would be pretty cool to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's just so difficult to time the jump here because it's on the leader, right? Not on green. It's up to the leader, which will be Kalhoff, of when he wants to go, right? And it's hard to time it because if you time it too well, right, you can get a penalty, right? So it's a definitely a tricky situation unless you have like a countdown, which obviously I don't think Henry's given that number 96 a countdown here going to green. So and granted, even if Henry had a teammate on the outside, I don't think when we're racing for the lead, he's getting a countdown, right? usually the only time you get countdowns is if you're behind that truck, right? And you need a good shove out. So that's going to be interesting to see if Thunderbird can time the start here. Try to stay side by side here through the front stretch going down into 1 and 2.
Chevy Toyota front row. Gonna see if we'll get a Toyota to the lead for the first time of this race, but we are back green. And once again, that inside line is just so strong on the restarts, and Henry Koloff is able to clear the outside pretty easily.
And Koloff down here will drop clear once again here into 1 and 2. Will be side by side, almost 3 wide for that second place spot. And here comes Trevino, trying to stick it in middle 3.
Zachary Trevino was peeking, just wasn't the room to do so. As contact for a second, maybe a little bit of a bad push from Tyler Holmes to the 96 machine. But Zachary Trevino now trying to look it. 3 wide on the bottom. It says Christian Zarate gets loose and it's going to work. He's going to be 3 wide for second. Back 2 on the inside of Christian Zarate going for the lead.
Trevino trying to make it work here side by side for P2 across the line. Koloff continues to lead, but still a battle for that P2 position.
Yeah, still side by side for second. Zachary Trevino strong on the bottom. He's trying to get it moving, but not able to do so. And that top lane just has a huge run on exit. Christian Zarate is able to get out in front now, entering turn 3 and 4.
And I love to see Henry kind of blocking these lanes, trying to, keep everybody stalled out side by side. But unfortunately, that's not going to work forever because here comes Trevino. Back to the bottom, side by side for the race lead. And use all that track up and really force that 63 back down up to that top side. Going to cut the apron. Going to try to get clear here up in the 1 and 2. Not quite. And you see the 63 right at the quarter panel.
Side by side for the lead and 3 wide for third. Aggressive racing to the front of Zachary Trevino, rolling that bottom line, is able to clear for the lead in front of Henry Koloff, keeps it straight. Zachary Trevino, our race leader, from the back to the front.
Yeah, and you see still some dicing further back here inside the top 10. Max Ford trying to make a spot here. Now he's going to go bottom 5.
Contact, they save it, Tyler Helmston. Maxwell Thunderbird, keep it straight.
Wow.
As Maxwell once again a little bit sideways, side by side for second. He's trying to get back up to the front after taking tires.
That was the bottom 5 for that 11 machine there when they got all dicey back there for their back. But once again, you'll see that top side with the momentum off the corner. We're going to get some of these guys clear. Koloff back to P2. Here comes Tyler Holmes on the top side of that number 15 machine.
Yeah, Tyler Holmes and Chase George both ripping the top side in that corner in 1 and 2, and they're able to get the run on exit. We're going to see Henry Koloff looking to the inside. He's going to do so. And here comes Tyler Holmes on the top side. They're going to be 3 wide for the lead entering turn 3 and 4.
Koloff was not going to be denied to that bottom side, but unfortunately, he got squeezed so much, he kind of has to jolly up his entry there. That's going to lose him a lot of momentum off the corner. Zachary Trevino up to block the top side. He's going to try to block that number 15. Holmes now tries to race for the P2 spot. He'll clear for P2.
Chase George was 3 wide for second place, coming out turn 3, but fell back. But now here comes Max Ford, looking to the bottom, not able to do so. Gets a little bit loose, and Tyler Helms now peeking to his inside. Side by side once again for second place.
I think this is just aggressive because I think they expect the caution to come out soon. And I don't really like how the way these leaders are racing each other, right? They're burning their stuff up, trying to keep this race lead. You see Trevino, Max Ford, you see the JJ Moore, your race pickup here inside the top 4.
He chose not to qualify for this race, started all the way back at 27th, and now he's up to 3rd place. JJ Moore, what a run so far. Up front all last week at Daytona. Looking to win here tonight at Michigan as we're back side by side for the lead. Max Ford to the inside of Zachary Trevino. Bit of contact. Max Ford sideways. He's going to spin. What a save. Max Ford has, a little bit of contact with the 96, but they're able to keep it straight. And we are going to stay green here at Michigan. What a save by that 11 truck.
Yeah, but a lot of loss of track position for the number 11. He drops all the way outside the top 15. So I'll hand JJ Moore an opportunity to race for the lead here. Trevino still leads. We're starting to see a little bit of single file now as that wreck kind of, checked everybody up. So you see the top 4 clear, the rest of the field here, but still 3 wide back here. Ferrati back here. You see the number 38 of Curate. You see the 6 of Chase George still trying to duke it out outside this top 5.
JJ Moore looking to go for the lead here. Was peeking to the outside in turn 1 and 2, just was not able to do so. But Max Ford, yeah, like we were talking about, all the way to the rear of the pack. In the beginning of this race, we saw he was one of the cars that couldn't really get his truck to handle well. He took those tires and once again just got sideways, and that truck just might not be as comfortable as he wants it to be. But still, JJ Moore looking for the lead on Zachary Trevino's. Actually, now he's going to push him, trying to gain some distance between third and fourth.
I don't really mind JJ doing this right now, trying to just get away from the rest of the field. Unfortunately, this is a truck, right? You're not going to do that. I mean, pushing might help, but you still have that 4-car pack. Really, 4 cars under a blanket here. Here comes Tyler Helms. Here comes Carmelo in that number 60 machine. Remember, he got caught up in a couple incidents, now up inside the top 4.
Yeah, that just shows, you know, you could be involved in an incident, but once you get all the damage repaired on these trucks on the sim, it's a brand new truck. You'll get up to the front, as we actually have a car sideways on the exit of turn 4. It's a 90 machine, and we're going to have a yellow once again here at Michigan. Riley Ibanez stopped out of turn 4.
And this 16, Brady Schoengost completely tore up, so I believe he might be caught up in this as well. We'll look at the 16 here from his point of view. Yeah, he's got
They're racing each other.
Yeah, he's got a fresh truck here. So he's definitely got caught up in something here. The 90, loose. Don't overcorrect. He overcorrected. And yeah, he did nowhere to go for Schoengost in the 16. So, man, tough break. Brady, nothing he could have done there. Tried to take evasive action. Unfortunately, the 90 trying to save it, overcorrected, back up into the outside wall, and collected the 16 with him.
Yeah, very unfortunate. Innocent bystander in that situation, and yeah, just awful. You know, you see a car spinning in front of you. He was not able to, you know, go to the bottom. You can't really do that at that speed when you're on that, you know, part of the track. And he saw the gap on the outside lane. He's, you know, open gap, was able to, you know, he was gonna get by the wreck, and you know, the 90 truck just overcorrection. But race leaders coming down pit road to get some fuel and some fresh tires as we just cross halfway in this race. Zachary Trevino pretty much leads the entire field down pit road.
Something I want to point out. Trevino has not pit yet. He went up and took the race lead away. Some people have come down and took tires. This is his first pit stop of the race, so, and that's kind of scary to think about. He took the lead with no freshies. We've seen some guys come down like Max Ford. Still can't even get around this 12 machine, but we'll see Trevino, see if he can win the race off pit road. It looks like he won't. Got some strategy under play here.
I think JJ Moore just beat him as well out of the pits. Yeah, it's very interesting. You know, we saw those trucks. Some trucks have already taken 2 sets of tires in this race. They got 1 set remaining. We're gonna go green, obviously, with less than 30 laps left. I honestly wouldn't be worried if you're one of those trucks with that 1 set of tires left, because you know, if you want to split it halfway, it's 15-15. Those other trucks are gonna do so. I don't see, you know, even if we get a green, white checkered and we see some of those trucks with that extra set of tires and they're up front, I don't know if they'll give up track position for those extra set of tires. You know, it's obviously different with how this race goes. You know, if we get a long green flag run, or you know, if it's or if we have a lot of yellows, it's very interesting though. But if I'm one of those trucks that already pit earlier and took a set of tires, I would not be worried.
Jose comes out back pit road. I don't think he wanted to be the leader there, so he's gonna come down pit road. Alejandro lead back over to the 88 of, well, technically 77 of JJ Moore.
Yeah, JJ Moore. My pick to win. It was my pick to win last week as well. And obviously did not qualify here at Michigan, but already up to the front on those fresh tires here. All the field on fresh tires. We're going to see how that plays out once again. And both these, you know, this front row is just strong. JJ Moore, Zachary Trevino, both really fast guys every week. Tyler Helms too in that second row, last season's champion, last week's winner. And then we got Kendorian Davis up there. Kendorian Davis looking to get a win here in that Toyota machine. We see him run full time, I believe, both Saturday and Friday. He's trying to get a championship in any of those series, And you know, he's fast at tracks. You know, we see him up front at a lot of tracks. Consistency is just, you know, a bit of a problem for a lot of these drivers, and you know, he has his good weeks and he has his bad weeks, and you know, it's you know, he's got to start off the season with a win. That's what that number 7 machine wants.
Yeah, it's the someone definitely not to count out, but yeah, I definitely agree. He needs to put the consistent finishes together, but you know, can't count out Condoin, especially when he's up here inside the top 4. But pace car already took the hard left turn on the pit route. It's gonna be JJ Moore, Gravino, back to green. JJ with a little bit of better jump on that bottom side, but no help versus that top side who does have a little bit of a push.
JJ Moore, great start, able to clear the outside lane entering turn 1 and 2. And here comes Christian Zarate back there, lead for 5th, side by side for 5th. Saw him leading these laps earlier. He wants to get back up to the front as soon as possible on those fresh tires, as Tyler Helms actually brushes the wall a little bit on the exit, and that's going to allow Christian Zarate to get to his outside, side by side now for 3rd entering turn 3 and 4.
And the 52 on the bottom, that 15 on the top, can be side by side for P3. I've noticed that these trucks are just having a hard time making the passes on the bottom. They just want to just push up the track, and now you see side by side for P3. Now here comes the 18 of Chase Smith. He's going to try to take advantage. Now Zarate just has to just kind of get back in line.
Huge send into turn 1 and 2 for Chase Smith. Side by side for 2nd, and on the inside is Zachary Trevino. That Toyota's moving, trying to get up to the front. Neither trucks have the help, but Zachary Trevino has the run off the exit. So he's going to be able to clear that 18. They're back single file into turn 3 and 4.
I feel like this is the only way you can make passing work, because you have to get a huge run, kind of do a slide job down here, and then the corners get back up in line before they, if you can, right? And if you can't get back up in line, I feel like you just don't even make the move. I feel like, mostly with the way the trucks drive now, it almost, you know, promotes you sitting in line. Unless you can find a spot to get in line here, because like you see here, see him trying to make the move on the 12, he'll get up. He'll just get back in line behind the 77, but he's up to the P2 spot.
I like what JJ Moore's been doing these past few laps. He hasn't been running the bottom. He's kind of been running the seam in turn 1 and 2, and running a higher lane in 3 and 4. You don't want to let a truck get to your outside, as the 18's actually looking to the outside. Just not able to do so. As Kendorian Davis is around, collects another truck in turn 3 and 4. Kendorian Davis, we were just talking about him, has some good weeks, has some bad weeks, and this week just went from good to bad. He has some heavy damage on that number 7 machine. He's already making his way down pit road.
No, looks like he might be parking that machine for the night. Yeah, as he does. Yeah, tough night, right? At the track position, just could not hold on to it. It was just falling through the field here. Middle 3. They're coming down the back stretch. Yeah, just looks like drove it too deep into the corner, tried to check up. 14 got in the back of him. He collects the 13. Chase Smith. No, that's not Chase. That is Gavin Smith. Yeah, apologies. At TH Designs machine. Yeah, he just drove it. It just looks like overdrove entry. He tried to kind of just had to back out. Fortunately, you know, when you back out at like a borderline full throttle track, there's a pretty high chance that you kind of get, you know, ran over there, and that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, you saw the 13 get involved, but once again, it's wrong place, wrong time for some of those drivers back there.
Gavin Smith, or sorry, Chase Smith. That 18 machine up front. He's looking for the lead. We saw him made some passes on the inside. Just didn't have the shot or opportunity to pass JJ yet, but he's going to start side by side for the lead. We're going to see if he'll be able to make the pass for the lead around JJ, but JJ Moore and Zachary Trevino, the last run, worked really well together, kind of staying out front, and Zachary just left the bottom open one time, and Chase Smith was able to sneak right on by. We're going to see how these 3 battle up front, and look at the league owner, Chase George, in 5th. Started all the way back in 32nd. We saw him up front a little bit earlier on in this race, right after the first set of pit stops. He stayed out. It's one of the trucks that chose to stay out, and he's back up front now in 5th.
Yeah, this caution is exactly what Chase needs, I think, because, you know, I feel like he probably used his tires up probably more than a lot of these other guys. to get up to P2. Now he gets that opportunity to cool these things back off. You know, obviously heat cycles aren't the best for these tires, but well, we only ran a couple laps here, so I feel like everybody came down. Well, yeah, 6 laps to go. You probably don't even have these, tires probably up to temp quite yet. So, him using up those tires to get up to P2 now gets this caution and cooling back off. I think this is, beneficial for that 18 machine.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see these drivers go back green. And Max Ford, who is in 8th, given an EOL penalty, he's gonna go back to the rear end of the field.
The day just it's getting tougher for
Riley
that
Ivan is also an EOL penalty.
Yeah.
Max Ford's still not dropping to the back just yet.
Looks like he might not be happy with someone.
Yeah.
Contact with the 60 machine back here. I don't really see any. I mean, maybe we missed something, but I didn't really see any contact between those two earlier in the race. But I'm definitely not happy with. It looks like the 60. He's not going to the back, so.
We'll see what the Evans have to say about that. But Riley Ibanez has already dropped to the back, serving his end-of-line penalty. But once again, JJ Moore up front, Chase Smith on his outside, battling for the lead. Row 2 is just as stacked with Zachary Trevino in last season's champ. I keep saying that. Tyler Helms. And then right behind them, Christian Zarate and Jay George. So definitely going to be interesting seeing these trucks going back green here. Almost. Or yeah, we are going to go back green on lap 40. Just with over 20 to go.
Yeah, so it'll be the 77 and the 18 will be Chevy, Toyota, Ram, Chevy, I believe. As we'll see that 77, JJ Moore back into the restart zone. That 77 takes off. Back green to start lap 40.
Ooh! Huge stack up on the top lane. Max Ford and the 60 got together. Max Ford actually came down, but was not clear on the 60, and now Carmelo dropping back a bit, but that could have been a wreck. They were able to keep it straight. That was very, very close, but that outside lane did not get moving, and Chase George now looking to pass Chase Smith has a little bit of contact on exit as well. Ooh. And Tyler Helms is stuck in the middle now, 3 wide.
Yeah, Tyler Helms, middle of 3, and that's just, everybody trying to be aggressive to get back towards the front. Chase George, bottom there, gets the apron a little bit. Nobody want to do that too much. It's going to be now Trevino, JJ Moore, and now it's going to be Chase Smith trying to battle it out for that P3 spot with that 6 machine.
Patricia Cusado back there leading the bottom lane. Ooh. We saw her as an aggressive move. 4 wide looking for the win in the duels, just was not able to do so, and then was caught up in a couple messes at Daytona in the main race, but looking to win here at Michigan as well. Max Ford in the wall.
Another slide out of that 11. Oh, wrecking again.
I want to say, no, that's not Kai Collymore, that's Aiden Curate, as that's a huge wreck. Multiple trucks involved, some heavy hits into that inside wall. And man, that is just very, very unfortunate for a lot of these trucks.
These guys cannot stop wrecking tonight. Thought we might have got those jitters out from Kai Collymore into the side of the 11. Curate.
Oh.
Off the nose of the 60.
Yeah, Carmelo just, I don't know if he was looking for a gap that just wasn't there, or I don't know. Obviously, these 3 checking up here on the exit. He sees Max Ford in the wall.
And he sees a hole there.
There's a bit of a gap there,
yeah.
but
not
just
enough.
Closes and makes contact.
23 around. You
see huge hit with the 23. The 8 gets turned off, I believe, with the 70s front bumper.
A Prather.
Travis Prather after that.
Sandwich.
Yeah, that's a huge hit.
Yeah.
After that incident earlier on, he was one of our top guys racing up front, and that just set his race back. And now being involved in this race, I honestly don't know that his race I don't know. It's got some heavy damage there. I wouldn't say over, but it's not looking likely for that number 8 machine of Travis Prather.
So Carmelo will get the blame for this one. So he gets the well in that number 60 Ram machine as he's they just trying to limp this thing. No, I think he's fine actually. He's probably got the least amount of damage out of these guys, so he'll get the well. He'll probably come down, take some tires. Might as well. He's starting from the back, so. And so here he comes. A lot of drivers down pit side actually, so. Got some takers, some come down pit road. I think Tyler Helm's one of the first ones down pit side.
I think if you have that extra set of tires and you're in the back, you want to pit and take tires, maybe go up through the field, but I would say I wouldn't say the next yellow. Maybe, ooh, sideways. You know, maybe the next yellow, we'll see the leaders come down and take that set of tires.
Yeah, I'm interested to see it because
to go.
I don't know. I don't know, right? I think maybe track position might be better because you see you get in the back that you get wrecked really. So I'm interested to see, you know, what the strategy is going to be like. Because I mean, JJ Moore, he's driven his way up inside, you know, the top 5 as he's leading the race, and you know,
look who's back up in the top 5 though. Your pick to win.
Kai Collymore got the jitters out of the way early, hopefully early. I mean, he did door 11, which kind of caused that chain reaction. So, hopefully he can clean it up a little bit here in these last 15 laps. Maybe go race for a win here late in this race.
Yeah, Kai Collymore, one of the most aggressive drivers, I think, in this league. But that aggression, you know, he uses to win these races. That's why he's so good. With that aggression, he uses it in a way that it helps him win, but sometimes, you know, it can cause wrecks, and we've seen that happen tonight. But you know, I still think he's going to be very aggressive, but he's just got to clean it up a bit. Yeah, I think we're still going to see that aggression from him trying to get up to the lead. But Patricia Cusado on his outside in 6th. Behind them in 8th, Aaron Cobnott. We haven't really seen him up front at all tonight. He's a fast driver.
Yeah.
Tonight as well. I don't think he set a lap in qualifying. I think he started towards the back. He did. He actually started side by side with JJ Moore. He's been able to, you know, get up here now in the top 8.
Yeah, Aaron's kind of sneaky quick. He kind of sneaks up on you sometimes with the pace he can have in this number 91 machine. So I don't count him out. Obviously needs a little bit of help to probably get to the leaders here with how drafty and stuff is. But definitely not over for that 91 camp here. I mean, we got 15 to go. Anything can happen here in these last 15 laps.
This is where I would love to see some green flag laps, but I think we'll see all these drivers get a little bit more aggressive as the laps come down. It's going to be interesting. It is, once again, 2 very strong drivers up front, JJ Moore and Zachary Trevino. JJ Moore, the controlled truck, and that Chevy 77 is going to lead us to the green flag here once again, and we are back green with 15 laps to go. Sorry, 16 laps to go. You're at Michigan.
Another good jump out of the 77, but a good jump out of both lanes early. Here comes the 12. It's a Trevino.
Huge run.
He'll be side by side with Moore, and he'll actually clear for the race lead.
That is the first time all race we've seen the top lane kind of, you know, be the stronger lane, I mean, tonight, or even stay side by side. But now we have Henry looking for the lead, but Zachary Trevino puts a huge block. Here comes Patricia now, looking for 3rd. Side by side, Aaron Cobnott also. Huge session on the bottom, but we're side by side for the lead. Still side by side for the lead. Henry Koloff on that inside. Neither trucks really have the help as they're 3 wide behind them.
3 wide back there for P5. Everybody wants spots here. 15 to go. Time to go, right? It's full send, right? There's nothing to save here, right? You see now Kalhoff bottom. Trevino top, but Calhoun not the run he needs. He's going to lose the lead here. And once again, that top will start to freight train him. Here comes JJ Moore back to the P2 position.
Yeah, JJ Moore, huge run on the exit. He goes and helps as well, Machine. And we see him once again. He kind of rips that third lane in 3 and 4. He's going to get the run on the exit. I'm not really expecting him to make the move on Trevino just yet. Maybe a little bit too early. We kind of saw them working together earlier on. But time will tell. He's going to just give him another push here into turn 1 and 2.
Push out to the 12. Not time to make the move yet with 14 to go. And we could get a caution at any moment here. So with how hard they're racing back there outside this top 3, you see 2, 3, 4 wide. Sometimes they're back outside the top 5. You start to see some, some of the big names start to rise to the top here. We talked about Godnot. Started 8th on that restart, up to 4th. Now trying to make a move on his teammate and Kalhoff in that number 63 machine.
Yes, Tyler Holmes is actually going to look to the bottom, not able to do so, but he's going to be side by side with that 18 machine of Chase Smith we saw front earlier on. And that top lane is just so strong. Tyler Holmes does not have the help he needs. And Henry Kalhoff, big send in turn 1 and 2. He's going to be side by side once again for the lead coming out of turn 2.
And once again, I just feel like you have to really be on the bumper, do a slider, get up and get clear, right? You cannot stay side by side. Yeah, you cannot stay side by side if you're on that bottom because the top has just such a good run off the corner.
Top not sideways.
Ooh, yeah, big slide out of the 91.
This time, Henry has help from the 18 machine of Chase Smith.
He's going to get a shove out. He's got to send it here if he wants to lead. Drive it down, get clear, get back up, right? This is what you have to do if you're Henry. I think that's what he's doing.
Yeah, way up high as Max Ford goes around in the back. We're going to have another yellow. Another truck piles into him hard. Not exactly sure who it was. Looks to be
53, maybe.
53, yeah. Looks like Christian Zarate might have been the truck that went in. But once again, Max Ford, who we have seen spin quite a bit tonight. I mean, his truck has not handled well all night. Maybe he had some help. We'll have to find out. I mean, no one's really around him.
I mean, he just loose off the top here, checks up, just runs in the back of the 14. And the 53, nowhere to go.
Hard.
Yeah. We'll go out on board with Zarate to see if there's really anything he could have done. This looks like, I mean, wrong place, wrong time once again here.
Oh, is he actually...
He's blinking a little bit.
More blinking itches. Here we go. We got him.
Yeah, I mean, there's nowhere he can go. Unfortunately. Nothing he could have done there. I mean, he's checking up, and when you check up, that car's not going to turn. If you're on the brakes, you're not tuning down the track. And you see the 11, slide up the track. There's really nowhere he could go.
Yeah, that is some heavy damage. They're going to have to go to pit road, but the real question is, do the leaders come down to pit road with... We're going to go in with less than 10 to go, but we were talking about track position. We think it's all about. I mean, we've seen these drivers go to the rear, and they're involved in the wrecks, but I don't know. It's kind of a gamble. If I'm up there, I'm pitting right now for tires.
Yeah, Chase George, Tyler Helms, P5, P6. Those are the guys who came down pit road, so those are the only guys that have really shown to be able to drive up through the field here with those freshies. So,
they still have one more pit left, I believe, so they can come down with these guys.
Yeah.
If they do decide to pit, which, once again, if I'm the leader, I choose to pit. It looks like they are going to do so.
Looks like here comes the whole field. Here comes
Chase George stays out.
Yeah, Chase George. 7 lap fresher tires, right? So
it's going to be interesting to see him try to hold off these guys on the fresh tires. I mean, the entire field is coming down to take those fresh tires. He was already in to the top 5. I would have came down, with them, but gonna be interesting. Gonna be interesting to see how he pulls them off. But.
Yeah, I don't know, right? Because I could see it maybe with like a 5 lap dash. We'll be going back to green with what 7, 8 to go. So I mean, we know Chase can get it done occasionally, but interesting to see.
Looks like Chase Smith.
Yeah, Chase Smith, I think, got it. Yeah.
Chase Smith in the 18 Toyota will be the car up front on fresh tires. Wins the race off the road. Zachary Trevino, sometimes at some tracks that first pit box is just not good, and it has not worked well for Zachary Trevino because he looks clean in and clean out, and he just always ends up losing about a position or two, and I think it's just that pit box. You're not able to get as much speed as you can on, coming out of it. I don't know. It's very, very interesting. I don't know.
So it'll be Chase George in the lead. That 13 machine, that's Gavin Smith. He's 3 laps down. So he'll have to be ushered to the back here once we get them 1 to green. I think he was maybe trying to get a lap back here or something. Unfortunately,
He did not want to see someone stay out.
yeah, exactly. So he'll be ushered to the back. He'll stay 3 laps down. So it'll be Chase George, Trevino, JJ Moore, your top 3. We get ready to restart your race. I think we'll be going back green with 8 to go here. So, and Chase George holding them off.
I don't know. I think it's going to be very hard for Chase George to do it. I think he's in a very, very difficult position. It's going to be hard. I wouldn't say it's impossible, but it's very slim. I mean, he's got a lot of fast trucks on fresh tires. Zachary Trevino, JJ Moore, Henry Koloff, Tyler Helms, Aaron Kovnat, Kai Collymore still up in the top 10. I mean, a bunch of got fast guys out there on fresh tires, and it's just, I don't know. It's going to be hard for Chase George. If I were him, I would have came down and taken 4, but we're going to have to see how it plays out here. Definitely going to be challenging for that number 6 machine.
Yeah, not only do you have trucks with fresh tires, you have probably some of the best in the field on fresh tires behind you, and it's immediately behind you at that. So, you have last series champ back there in 6. You have AJ Moore. Gavin's picked the win. You have Chase Smith, who's showing a lot of speed. So, it's gonna be interesting to see what the 6 can do, to see if he can hold on, or hopefully he doesn't cause a wreck trying to hold on to this lead or keep the track position, because that's not what we want to see. But we'll just have to see once we go green here. But it will be a Chevy Toyota front row in the 6 and 18. Going out of turn 4. Be the pace of truck.
Chase George just... Sorry about that. Chase George just needs a good start here. Does not want to spin the tires, and he's able to do so.
A decent jump out of the 6, but I don't think that's the gap he wants here. Going into 1 and 2. Have to block the bottom. He does, but fortunately with the older tires, I don't know if the bottom's going to work all the way around here. See the 12 all up. The tailgate here, he comes to the inside of the 6.
Yeah, the 12 machine and all the guys on those fresh tires are just able to wrap that bottom very well, and you saw him able to get to the bottom of the 6, and look at that, back 3 wide for second now. JJ Moore on the top as he gets loose. Saves it though. JJ Moore keeps the streak. He's going to fall back a bit, and Henry Koloff now back to 3rd in that number 63 machine.
Henry's impressed me all race with the pace he's had in this Silverado. He's going to try to make a move here for the race lead if he wants. No, he'll actually push the 12 out. He wants to probably get that 12 and himself clear the 6 of Chase George, making a battle for the lead between those 2. But Chase has been able to hold on.
Yeah, no, Chase has done a great job. It's actually surprised me a bit, but still with 7 to go, he's still got a long way to hold off these guys. But he's doing a great job right now. Henry Koloff still stuck on that inside, not able to clear the 6 at all. Zachary is kind of just out controlling the lanes at the moment.
Yeah, I think Henry needs to clear the 6 to try to race for the win here, but unfortunately, everybody's abandoning him on the bottom, going up top, trying to get the momentum to get around. And I think, Chase George is doing a good job holding on to it. As I said, that's super loose, but keeps it going. Bottom of the 12, he's still trying to race for the lead.
Yeah, and he's able to do it side by side. Zachary Trevino. Big push from Henry Koloff on the inside, and a bit of contact on it, but he's going to be able to clear for the lead.
He's super upset there.
JJ Moore, big slide in turn 3 and 4. He's going to keep it straight, though, as a blink from Chase George there, but JJ Moore might pick to win. Huge slide in turn 3 and 4, but was able to keep it straight.
And I think that blink kind of helped Chase because everybody didn't know where he was. They kind of backed off. It allowed Chase to take the race lead once again. That's going to be Trevino. George, 1-2. Here comes Calhoff on the bottom.
Oh, Zachary Trevino. Almost looked like he was peeking to the outside. Chase George kind of went down a little bit on exit, but he's not ruining it a lot off a little bit. But still Zachary Trevino ripping that seam, and Chase George just could not let that truck get to his outside, and He's looking, just not able to do so. Zachary Trevino in that 12 machine.
You can tell Trevino trying to be aggressive to try to just get anywhere to the top there on that outside of Chase, but Chase is doing a phenomenal job trying to hold on here, running the bottom. He's trying to drive it in and then try to slide up right in front of the 12, try to give him that dirty air.
Ooh, sideways.
Chase is just, he's on the razor's edge here, trying to hold on to this race lead.
You just cannot let that truck get to your outside. You gotta protect that top, because the moment that truck gets to your outside, he's gonna be able to side draft. That's a huge send by Carmelo. Big slide, and he's gonna wash up contact with Henry Koloff, and Henry Koloff now.
Oh, the bump in the back of the 6.
Chase George hard into the wall.
Yeah,
Chase George, huge hit. He's gonna fall to the back now.
Trevino said, I've had enough. He just put the bumper to the back of him. Oh, a huge block from the 18 to Chase Smith. That's on
Tyler Helms, last week's winner, now up to second. He's ripped at the top. He's actually going to lose a couple positions. Carmelo up to second now with Kai Collymore now side by side for third with Tyler Helms.
Yeah, Kai's got to get clear if he wants to shot at this. He needs to send. Yeah, it gets up there. And rip the top here. This is kind of the safe line. I feel like I've seen a lot of drivers do. Like if you want to at least secure your spot, get up to the top, right, and put yourself at risk of maybe getting slid here. But we go with 2 to go. It's gonna be Trevino, Carmelo, Tyler Helms here, bounded out with 2 to go.
Zachary Trevino's just doing a great job keeping those trucks behind him side by side. He's able to control both the lanes, and that's what you want to do out in front. And those trucks behind him don't really have help from behind. They have Kai Collymore and Aaron Kovnat behind them, but they're not connected. And actually, it looks like Carmelo's going to be able to clear Tyler Helms now. As entry turn 3 and 4, I thought he was going to go to the inside, but he's staying top.
And Carmelo wants to run that top side, try to get as much of a run down the backstretch. Nothing going to happen of it. Zachary Trevino across the line. He's going to take the white flag here for Michigan.
Last week's winner, last season's champion, Tyler Helms, second, peeking for the lead. We know he wants this win, wants to go back-to-back, but Zachary Trevino very strong up front. And now look, Aaron Kovnat, three wide for second, all the way on the bottom.
A contact between the 16 and the 15, that might stall them out just enough. When you need one last heave from the 15 down here on the 12, what will he do to try to take this win?
Tyler Helms, into turn 3 and 4, sends it in, not able to do so. And Zachary
off the wall.
Out front, Zachary Trevino is gonna get the checkered flag and win here at Michigan. Great way to start off the season. Wow, I mean, dominant truck. I don't know if they could. They weren't able to do anything. I don't know. Zachary Trevino, huge. Great job by him.
I mean, Trevino did a good job putting the truck where he needed to, especially on the exit of the corner, right? To make the blocks, to basically force these guys to kind of just push them out, right? You see this a lot, like in the next gens, right? Where you'll like park it on exit and force the guy behind you to kind of just let you finish the corner, right? I felt like that's what kind of Trevino did right there. Went in and drove it in on the bottom and kind of just parked it right in front of the truck in front of them. Kind of forced, the drivers behind them, just push him out and continue to lead this race. And what a job, right? Qualified on pole, got the yellow, had to drive all the way back up to the front. He's going to take his first win of the season here from Michigan.
Yeah, he's going to burn it down on the front stretch. That is the first time we have had a Ram win in this series. New manufacturer. Burning it down here on the front stretch at Michigan, which is where the Ram was released last year. They announced the Ram coming back to the Truck Series, and not a better place to do it here at Michigan than the win. And Tyler Helms, last week's winner, P2 here tonight. Not another win, but man, is it another good finish for that number 15 machine.
Awesome job by Tyler to get back up to the front there. An awesome job by Aaron Kovnat, Up 25 spots where he started a really good points day for that number 91 machine.
Zachary Trevino parking it in victory lane.
And what a job by that 12 machine. We're going to go ahead and take a quick commercial break. We never got the opportunity to during the race, so we're going to take a quick ad break, and we'll be on the other side to talk to your top 3 finishers and start your post race show here from Michigan.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And we welcome you back here for the post race show of the Send It Motors Prospect Truck Series here for the UIS Truck Series here, week 2 from Michigan, as we just saw Zachary Trevino put on a masterful performance tonight to get his first win of the season, and I think we have him down here in Victory Lane. Let's see if we can talk to the number 12 of Trevino. Hey, Zachary Trevino, it's Christian and Gavin up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Well, first of all, congratulations. Your first win of the season here in this 12 Ram. It was definitely interesting to see you drive through the field tonight. Obviously, sat on the pole, but got that EOL. Had to, start all the way from the tail end of the longest line here at the start of the race. But, with time, got yourself back up towards the front. And regardless of what was thrown at your way, the 6 staying out on old tires, you losing the race off pit road a couple times, you were still able to put that 12 up and towards the front and really just dominate this race tonight. What was the difference to get you up here in the victory lane tonight?
Yeah, we had a really fast number 12 Ram truck. So, I mean, the difference, you just got to be aggressive at these types of tracks. You just got to force your way through stuff you don't want to go through. I was just putting my nose where, there was a gap, but I probably shouldn't be putting it there. But yeah, it's just about being aggressive and wanting to get to the front. But yeah, I think that's the difference.
Walk us through, obviously we saw a lot of tire variancy there. We saw some guys who would come down like every 15 laps. We saw you pitted basically at the halfway point. What was the kind of the tire degradation in your eyes for these trucks compared to, some other series?
Yeah, tonight the tires they didn't really wear that fast, so we didn't get much green laps on them. So I was just me and my team, we were just staying out, conserving our stuff a little bit, trying to save sets for the end. But yeah, I think we just did a good job. I came in for a pit on the last stop there, and it just worked out. We had people in the front, all of our teams, so we all worked together.
Definitely looked like a big teammate win there for you in this whole 12 camp. So congratulations, Zachary, on your first win of the season here in season number 7. Before I let you go, though, anybody you want to thank, shout out, or appreciate for tonight's win here from Michigan?
Yeah, I always want to shout out Precision Speed Solutions for having me. And I want to thank Chase George, all of them, Sky High Racing, Tyler Helms, Colby Duckworth. Um, I want to thank y'all for streaming, and yeah, that's about it. All my teammates, Joshua Gilbert.
We definitely appreciate the kind words up here in the booth. But once again, obviously going back to back, you won last week with the Prestige guys. Coming home victorious with Michigan. We congratulate you and wish you the best of luck here in the rest of season 7.
Yep, thank you.
Zachary Trevino comes home victorious. I think Gavin Austin has Tyler Helms back here in pit road.
Tyler Holmes, it's Gavin Austin and Christian Delgado in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Well, you had a really strong race. Obviously, last week's winner started off the season very strong. A lot of incidents again this week. We're able to stay out of them for the most part. Able to have a clean truck. Obviously one spot short, but heck of a way to start off the season with 2 back-to-back podiums. Kind of walk us through this race and how you're able to get your truck here for another podium finish here at Michigan.
Yeah, I mean, we start from the back. Didn't really expect too much. First time we're starting with or running with no faster pairs here in the truck series, so wasn't really expecting too much. Kind of expected honestly to go into a corner early in the race and just get absolutely taken out and be done. But we made up a bunch of spots at the beginning of the race. And then we kept getting yellows, and every single yellow we kept moving our way forward until me and Zach finally got to the front. And when we got up there, we wanted to try to stay up there and like just not control the race, but like not be able to, like we knew we weren't gonna be able to pull away, but like stay 1-2 or whatever. It just wasn't gonna work because every single time people got a run, they didn't care about saving tire at all. They just tuck it and sent it, and that's probably why we've seen a lot of wrecks because after about 5 laps, it starts to get loose and. Well, clearly people cannot handle that, and then we took a couple gambles on some tire calls, strategy calls, and it would have. I think if it would have went green, we didn't have that last yellow, we would have won the race. But unfortunate, and but good team win, 1-2 for us, and we won the first 2 races. But starting to. Even in Cup as well as of recently, we've been putting ourselves in positions either at the end of the races to win races or to be in the top 2 or 3. I mean, Chris or Delgado, you've seen that, and Prestige as well. And we put ourselves in good spots all season, and we're gonna move on to Coda. Felt on that final lap when I cleared Carmelo off of 4 coming to the white that we probably had a really good chance at it, and I was just gonna run like half a lane above Zach, stay in the clean air, get the run in the back straight away, and try to get underneath him going into 3. And well, of course, I had to get put 3 wide on entry, and did not expect that at all. Didn't even prepare for that, and still had the run on the back straight away, but just obviously wasn't as big as what it would have been. And we were almost there. I put it wide open in a 3. I was gonna try to get to him and either get him arrow loose or give him a little nudge, but couldn't get to him. And we'll take second place. It's first place and a second place, and team 1-2. We continue to stay at the top of the points, and should have a pretty easy win for the team next week as well at Coda. Zach should probably dominate that. So move on to then, and see if we can go extend this points lead.
Yeah, I was gonna mention going into the road course next week. Obviously, a lot of road course ringers in this series, including Zach. Do you expect yourself to, have the shot at getting another podium finish next week and continue that streak?
I hope so. I've ran Coda 1 time in the trucks. I ran 1 C-Fix there, and it was like 2 years ago, and it didn't go great. So I don't really know what to expect. I know it's going to be extremely loose, and just got to avoid the truck from wheel hopping and bouncing over the bumps. But if we can do that and I think honestly if we can keep the truck clean, I think we'll do pretty good. I think we'll do pretty good there. And it depends on who shows up. I think if Hector shows up and Finnegan might show up, maybe potentially, and then Zach, obviously, there's not a chance. But I think if it's the guys you see here today, I don't see anybody beating me besides Zach, honestly. I don't think I'm terrible at road courses, but it's also not my strong suit. So we'll see how we're doing in practice there next week, and then we'll take it from there. I think the whole goal though is just gonna be keep the car clean, and obviously we know how chaotic up the hill is gonna get.
All right. Well, we're excited to see how you race next week at Coda. Before we let you go, any sponsors, teams, family members, anybody you want to thank before get out of here?
Yeah, I gotta thank Precision Speed Solutions and all the guys over there, Alex Murray and DJ, and then my teammates Zachary Trevino and Kobe Duckworth and Duck Motorsports.
All right. Well, it's happy to hear from you again, Tyler, and hopefully we'll hear from you again next week at Coda, and we'll catch you then. You have a
Yep.
good rest of your night.
Yep, thank you.
Well, Christian Delgado has found Aaron Cobnott, our third place finisher, and we're gonna have him talk to him now.
Hey, Aaron, it's Christian and Gavin up here in the HVTV booth. You got a copy?
I got a copy, guys.
Well, a P3 finish for you and this whole 91 team. Obviously, we saw your teammate in Henry Kalhoff. He was up here, up inside the top 5 throughout most of the race, but decided not to set a qualifying lap. Had to kind of work your way up the pack the hard way there. Walk us through race tonight. Walk us through what got you up here inside the podium spot.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to apologize to Henry Kalhoff for not helping him out there. I kind of let him out to dry, and I feel kind of bad about it. But yeah, kind of came in really, really late. Barely. Or I did miss the grid, but caution came out, so we were okay. But like my first real lap of racing, we got taken out in a big one, and we had like 3 minutes of damage, of wheel damage. So I had to get that fixed. And when I got back out, some guy just stopped in the middle of the track right in front of me. So that was like another 2.5 minutes. And then at that point, we're like 3/4 of the way through the race. And then like, I just get super lucky with cautions and just driving it really hard. And yeah, just getting up to probably around 7th. I think we we're probably around a 7th place car. We did not have very good speed really anywhere. We can really we could hold our line, or I'm sorry, hold our position on the top, but I felt like I couldn't really pass that often. So it's kind of a Mickey podium, but I'll take it.
Well, walking us through, obviously, you talked about the couch tonight. We had a bunch, just like we did last week at Daytona. Walk us through kind of the mentality of knowing that, the big one could ensue at any time here from Michigan.
It's just honestly, it's just really annoying. I feel like when I was when I started in racing, and Gavin's been racing with me for a while, especially when I first started. I was only, I think, mildly competitive at super speedways, and I used to love it. Now I just hate everything that's pack racing related. It's just racing for 5 laps, wreck him, repair it, go back out another 5 laps, repeat. It's just really annoying. I'm just looking forward to Coda. I'm looking forward to literally anything that isn't Daytona, Talladega, Atlanta, Michigan, Pocono, everything.
Well, and that was my next question, is looking in Dakota, right? What are you guys in the off week, you and the whole Kalhoff Deitch, organization doing to prepare for Coda coming into next week?
I mean, I've raced there once, and like I was a bit of a wrecking ball, but I still got 10th. So I mean, I'll take it. But I feel like I'm actually kind of decent at Coda, so I feel like that's probably like a top 10 for us. But yeah, haven't raced there in anything but a cup car, so we'll see.
Definitely going to be interesting to see what you can do there going into next week into the Circuit of the Americas. But once again, Aaron, another congratulations on a P3 finish. Before we let you go, any sponsors, family, shout outs you'd like to give for tonight's good finish tonight?
Yeah, I'd like to thank News Racing Shop for being on my Bad Fast 91 Kalhoff Deitch Racing Chevrolet. Etienne, David Kreutz. Who else? I already said NASCAR's newest. Sorry, I haven't gotten a podium in a while. I'm not used to this. Like I said, everyone at KDR, Henry Kalhoff, Michael Deitch, Impex Auto Glass, 213 Simware, all those guys. So, yeah, just even if they don't, really benefit us that much, since we're in fixed races, running schemes with people that actually request to be in your car is a big motivator. So it's just good to represent real companies that are interested in racing or sim racing every week.
I definitely agree there, Aaron. But another congratulations on a good finish. Hopefully, we could talk to you back up here inside the top three again from Coda.
Thank you.
Aaron Kovnat comes home P3, and definitely very interesting race to say the least, Gavin. Obviously, we looked into the night's race knowing that it's a drafty style track. We saw the drivers have issues last week at Daytona with another drafty style track, and obviously a lot of chaos tonight here from Michigan.
Yeah, a lot of chaos indeed, and I think me and a lot of drivers, obviously we heard from some of them would have loved, some more green flag racing, and I would have liked to see how that would have played out. But heading into Dakota next week, I do think we'll see some more green flag laps, and I'm excited to see some of those road guys show up and race up front. And Zachary Trevino, I think, has a good shot at going back to back. Obviously, he's a really good road course racer and one to look at next week. And I expect maybe Hector Collazo to get in here and race up here in the truck series. It's going to be very interesting. I'm really looking forward to next week at Coda. But it was a fun race tonight. Um, and yeah, once again, huge props to Zachary Trevino.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see who shows up, right? Obviously, we have Trevino circled at the top of our bingo card to potentially be a favorite, but we like Gavin just said, we do have some road course ringers who come out and show out just sometimes just for the road courses, like the Hector Colazos and some other people who like to come out and show their chops up here, and we'll be interested to see how that comes out to be. But yeah, uh, once again, a huge props to Trevino for his good win, but some guys who we probably expected to, maybe run a little bit quicker, and then they'll come home towards the back of the field here. You look at Kendorian Davis, you look at really Kenny Laura looked like he had a lot of speed tonight. Max Ford, he finishes outside the top 20 as well as like Christian Zarate and some other people.
Yeah, no, it's great finish by a lot of guys, points finishers. I mean, once again, Tyler Helms, last week's winner, last season's champion, starting off the season strong with a win and then another podium. And, I think he has a good shot next week at getting a good finish. And even if some of those road ringers do show up, I think he's got a good shot at even still getting the podium. I mean, I really, expect to see him perform really well this season. And I think he has a good shot at winning again, the championship again.
Gonna be interesting to see how he approaches this season. Obviously, defending series champion Tyler, we know he's got the pace to go up there and race with the best, but it's gonna be interesting to see. But let's go ahead and take a look at our unofficial race results tonight for tonight's race at Michigan. Obviously, we talked your top three in Trevino, Helms, and Comnot as they round out your podium for tonight's race. But Chase Smith back there in P4, good recovery for him, as well as Carmelo Echeverra. He got caught up in a couple incidents throughout the race there. Kai Collymore, my race pick, P6, and JJ Moore, Gavin's pick, back there P7. Good top 10 runs for them. Patricia Casado back there in P8. Henry Kalhoff back there in the 63, back there in P9. And running out the top 10, Jose Lopez back there in the 19.
Yeah, in 11th, it's Aiden Curate, who we saw up front earlier on, just was involved in some incidents behind him. Jacob S. Bryant, Elliott Fortier, Chase George, our league owner. We saw him stay out on those older tires and was really strong. Just once again involved in an incident towards the end of the race. Joshua Gobert, Travis Prather, Joseph Enright, Trenton Wilkin, uh, Kenny Hiller, Cody Banta, Christian Zarate, Max Ford, and the first car a lap down is Cameron Campbell. And yeah, behind them, Gavin Smith 5 laps down, Riley Ibanez -17, Jared Spanoil 18 laps down, Aiden Cabarrubia 19 laps down, Kenoran Davis 25 laps down, Brady Schreckengast 29 laps down, Maxwell Funderburg 32 laps down, and Kenny Laura 45 laps down, who will finish in the last position.
So definitely a lot of comers, a lot of goers, and a lot of people tore up tonight here from Michigan. But it's going to be interesting to see as we look into the future as we go to Texas as we go to Circuit of the Americas. Our first road course here in the UIS Truck Series here for Season 7. So it's going to be interesting to see how we get there. But looking into the future here on the network here, obviously Thursday we'll be back here for the Prestige Cup Series as they go to Martinsville Speedway as they end their round of 8 there in the UIS and the PRS Cup Series. And then Friday we'll be back here with the Prestige Cup Series as they start their chase there next week. So interesting to see that. And obviously we come into Saturday, where we'll be doing the ISNF Cup Series as they continue their chase as well. And then no HVTV After Dark on Saturday, as Daniel Mosteller will not be home to, run his series. So we'll be having another off week there for the HVTV After Dark, and then we'll be back right on the turn here for the UIS Truck Series here from Coda. But from myself and Gavin Austin up here in the HVTV booth, we appreciate everybody for coming out, watching tonight's broadcast. If you wouldn't mind dropping a like on the broadcast, subscribing to the channel, whether you're watching over at twitch.tv/ChristianBoss13 for this specific race, or over on the High Velocity TV YouTube channel. We appreciate everybody for coming out, and we hope everybody has a great rest of the night. Happy late Mother's Day to anybody, to any mothers watching at home. Everybody, should be appreciative of that. And we look forward into Thursday for the PRS Cup Series. But once again, we wish everybody a good Monday night and a good rest of the week. And we can't wait to see you guys back up here for some more racing. But once again, from myself and Gavin Austin, you've watched the High Velocity TV production of the UIS Truck Series.